this is my method for plaiting onions. I never really was able to work out how you did it, so I made the assumption that you could do it a bit like French plaiting hair, and it works. Before you start, get yourself a piece of string, because you need to tie up the top. And when you've got your hands full of a string of onions, then you're not going to be able to go and get your string. Tidy up your onions. Just take off any loose paper and either pull or trim off the bits of root. It's going to be quite difficult to do that when you've got your hands full and you're trying to hold the plait in place. Okay, start off with 3 onions. These are all reasonably sized. They're much about the same size, and we've already graded them. So lay out your 3 onions exactly like plaiting hair. So you fold one over and then the other one. If you know how to plait, then you'll know what I'm talking about. I usually give it a couple of goes just to get it started. And then as you go along, to put in the rest of your onions, put it on the top and fold that in to the bit that you're plaiting in. Another fold over, another onion, and carry on plaiting down. So each time you add a section to the plait, you add an onion to it. Once you get the hang of it, it's quite a quick process, and I find it faster and easier than actually stringing them. You're going to get in a bit of a tangle. You need to separate out the strands. And be aware you're going to make a heck of a mess doing this. So don't be tempted to do it indoors, because you're going to end up with bits of onion everywhere. So the next onion goes on, and the next fold goes in. If you want to be really clever, you could grade your onions exactly so that you've got them all nice, neat, regular sizes. And the next onion goes on top. Now, as I said, I'm no expert, so this isn't going to be a perfectly beautiful plait, but it does store them quite nicely on the top and fold it over. Periodically you'll need to untangle the ends. And keep on adding your onions until you've got enough on your plait. Bear in mind, if they're huge onions, you probably won't want so many because they're going to be very heavy. Lift it back a bit. As you can see, they're all being held together nice and easily, and when you come to use them, you can just cut or pull one off without the rest of them coming undone. So carry on plaiting down. So if you've got little girls or you know anything about hairdressing, this is no different to French plaiting hair. You just keep winding in the onions in the same way as you would wind in the next piece of hair in the plait. And the next one goes in. We've got 3 left now. You can hang these up somewhere so you get some air circulated, and they should store quite nicely throughout the winter. Keep on adding your onions until you've got enough to form your plait. Remember that you've probably got to hang it from a hook somewhere, so don't make it so heavy that you can't actually lift it. Okay, now we've got all the onions in. I think that's probably big enough. Now just carry on plaiting down as if you were plaiting hair. Looking a bit scruffy at this stage, but don't worry about that. We're talking here a bit crude maybe, but effective. There. As you can see, all the bits have been dropping off and onto the floor. Now take your piece of string and tie it off. Make sure it's nice and firm, because you don't want them falling down when you've got them suspended from the garage ceiling or something. And knot the string. Make sure I'm doing a reef knot, not a double granny. There we are. I'm going to make another knot at the end of it, because this is the bit that's going to hang, because I want to be able to just go out into the garage where we store them and cut off an onion. Now, Tidy it up a little bit, chop the ends off. If you've got any stray pieces, just give them a tidy up. There you have one onion plait. So as you can see, it's plaited all the way up, and your onions are hanging with room for air to circulate amongst them. Tidy it up a little bit. If you don't take those bits of onion skin off, they're going to end up everywhere. There you are. Nothing to it. Getting it started now, assuming you know how to plait. So you plait with 3 pieces of string, or in this case 3 onions. So the one on the right goes over the one in the centre. The one on the left goes over the top of that one. And then you keep taking the one on the outside from alternate sides and plaiting them. Put in a couple of plaits at this stage, it'll just keep it a little bit firm before you start adding your other onions to it. And always going from one side to the other, the one on the outside goes into the middle.